PC.
What?
Not politically correct. We're political Christians. I'm Steve.
I'm Jen, from somewhere in Sandpoint.
That's what the GPS says. In today's show, we have...
For starters, what's happening to City Beach?
The poll. We'll give the new poll questions and review your answers and comments from last time.
Exciting stuff. We'll talk about the school board.
The school board meeting.
Yeah.
Boring stuff. Seasonal weather forecasting frustrations.
Serious stuff. Artificial intelligence.
I thought I was hearing a lot of good about that. And we're going to have the politician profile, Bonner County Coroner Robert Beers. And finally, if there's time, we're going to break the taboo and we'll give you directions to an abundant huckleberry spot for this summer harvest.
Wow, that would make a lot of people really mad. Are you sure you want to do that?
This is the news. This isn't the friend-making club.
All right.
Okay, for starters, let's go to City Beach.
I spoke with Mayor Jeremy Grimm about the City Beach parking controversy. He's a Christian, and he gave me quite a bit of his time. There's an expanded hotel resort project near the beach, and they want to buy a variance on how many parking spaces they need. So there's a required amount that they need based on their size. They want to have less, it would give the possibility of overflow. So if a certain amount of people show up to use their resort or restaurant or hotel and they don't have enough places to park, then they would overflow just kind of naturally into space that the city would allow them to overflow into, which would be the City Beach parking lot.
So the parking spaces are hypothetical. What's the cost?
$10,000 a piece, and the resort wants $40,000, but they aren't actual parking spots. They're just that they wouldn't have to build those. They aren't actual parking spaces. They're just the ability to use the City Beach parking as overflow. So the city's interest is to find some way to make the City Beach parking lot profitable enough to repave it and to be able to maintain itself. If you have any other suggestions on how to do that, the mayor is open to hearing them. City Beach used to be pay to park, according to Grimm, until about 2018, when the last mayor made it free.
Free!
Which the current mayor finds fiscally irresponsible.
Oh.
He says his economic principles can best be understood by reading the book.
The Wizard of Oz?
That's a book, right? Yeah. The High Cost of Free Parking.
Yeah, she free parked a house on top of a witch. I love that book. The movie. Anyway.
Yeah, most people know the movie. They're considering an automated system with a lever that lets you through, like at the Spokane airport.
We're not at the AI store yet.
No.
Okay, keep going, I guess.
Right. And offering annual passes that might be $10. They're considering $10 for residents, $20 for Sandpoint residents, $20 for Bonner County residents. So,
somebody lives in Sandpoint, though. They are also a Bonner County resident, so what, they got to pay $30?
oh, that's funny. All right.
No, I don't think that's how it works. It's closest minimus. It's Latin, you wouldn't understand.
It sounds like you're working for the city, trying to make them some extra money.
Well, this ain't making a lot of money
It's
yet.
like that vending machine idea you had.
That's a good idea.
All right. They also want to include overnight parking into that. So back to the city's plan. They want to take the $400,000 made from the resort variance and use it to create the infrastructure needed to manage paid parking. And then the paid parking would pay for parking lot maintenance. If you're hearing this and you have a lot more questions...
I do.
...and suggestions, like especially people who don't support this, take them to your government, voice it to the mayor and the city council, make your voice heard. So if you have problems with this, let them know and make your other suggestions. If you love it, I guess let them know that too, because they're up against it here, and it sounds like a lot of people kind of have an issue with this, but we're not hearing we're not hearing that they're hearing a lot of other suggestions. So
Yeah.
so
Part of
go for it, people.
Yeah, part of governance is governing and having solutions for these things that apparently are becoming problems, but we haven't seen it yet. What I hear is it's going to cost me to go to the beach, which I'm like, I don't want to go to the beach. But what I'm going to do instead, and the thing is, there's plenty of city council meetings, even though I don't live inside of Sandpoint City, you can still go there
They
and
should
say,
hold the city council meetings right on the beach.
and charge a fee. Oh, wait, no.
To go to your city council meeting?
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. But we are going to have our next public meeting guided tour. It's going to be at one of these city council meetings. We haven't decided yet which one it's going to be. That's going to be announced. But we're going to let you know. But you should go to these anyway, and you should tell them how you feel. That really is part of the right governance, the correct governance of yourself and your country.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for us.
No, you don't. But we will be at one of them, and we will let you guys know. The next one, it looks like, is coming up on February 5th at 5:30, and then 2 weeks later, they'll have one on February 19th, also at 5:30.
In 2025, in case you weren't sure what year this is.
Yeah, in case you've stumbled across a time machine and it's messing you up, which city council meeting
Or
you
if
go
you're
to.
watching these episodes, like really binging them, or
Yeah.
you've gotten really famous and popular 3-5 years from now, and you want to go to the city council meeting on that date, but now we're in like 2030.
If we get famous, I'm going to call myself Steve 5000. So, they have them, it looks like, about every 2 weeks, and I believe it's down at City Hall. So just look it up, or we will be posting it into the comments section. And the reason I bring that up is we do have another poll. So the first question is the city beach your favorite lake spot? Do you find the parking a challenge at City Beach?
And how do you feel about paying for parking there?
The gut feeling, not good, because I don't like, but I'm not going to skew.
I thought you didn't answer. You just did it. It's
You know what? I love
it's
it.
Skewed.
No, I love it. I actually think,
Then that's
how else
skewed
are you going to
too.
get the
Skewed.
potholes out of there?
All right.
The geese out of there. That's been a problem. Have you guys noticed there's geese at the beach?
You're gonna bring back that goose controversy? They don't have enough to deal with.
I don't think they solved it, but I would hope that they could with $10 a person. And anyway,
You're gonna make a perfect storm of a city beach controversy by bringing back the old goose poop debate.
I didn't say poop. I just said geese. But that's fine.
We know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they have a vacuum. They bought a vacuum to vacuum it up, but they don't have anybody to use it. You just have to volunteer your time, which is totally
Remember
great.
the fake foxes? Do they still have those out there?
That's an interesting story that should be regrouped, rehashed. Anyway, answer those questions, and we'll repost them actually in the comments. But answer the questions, and we will read them at our next filming. We did do a poll last time, and our last poll was about daylight savings time. And you guys said you weren't confused by daylight savings time at all. But you also said you'd love to go on it permanently for sunlight in the winter. And
So that was 100%?
100%.
Wow.
There wasn't that many commenters, but it was 100% of them totally knew what it was, how it worked, and they all wanted permanent daylight savings time.
Wow, that's a good census.
Yeah. They said the reasons given were for hunting and for being able to take care of business after work.
Yeah, it's amazing that everybody said the same thing.
Yes. So,
And hunting. So people really care about hunting here in Idaho. Technical difficulties, you
Yeah,
guys.
technical difficulties. We're getting this going.
Don't know if you can tell we're stalling.
Yes, we are.
Don't mess it up. All right.
So the people who did speak about going on it permanently gave the reasons for it being hunting and for doing business after work in the sunlight. One of the commenters referred to people who work during the daytime as day walkers, which I guess is a shout out to Wesley Snipes. Thank you guys for your comments and for the comedy, and you guys are awesome. So next up on the list, we have exciting stuff.
It's about time, huh?
Yeah. the school board meeting wasn't boring. It was full of intrigue. Okay, last time we talked to you guys about this, we said, okay, this one is going to have some things happen that don't normally happen. Like in an election year, you have the option to elect new school board trustees. Well, that didn't happen because the election passed, and then we had the chair, who is also a trustee, resign. And what that does is it gives the ability to select the new trustee to the board as opposed to you guys, the voters. And they did not disappoint. So there were two people who were running for the position that Geraldine Lewis had vacated. And the winner of the two was a fellow named
Demers.
It seems the kids know him because at high school he was a coach and a teacher, Dave Demers.
And he was known for being strict.
Which I kind of like a strict teacher. Why else would you have a teacher?
But this guy, he definitely seemed to be on board with the PAFE program, the teachers union program, the school board association program, because those people were all very happy to get on board with Demers and vice versa.
Yeah, so what did happen was, as Jen predicted last time, Lonnie Williams was made the chair of the board, which was really
I just want to say, I don't want to gloss over this, I was right.
Yeah,
guys.
she was right. She was right.
I was right.
But he has the most experience there. And then following up, they were responsible for electing a vice chair.
Yeah, and so Lonnie Williams was unanimously selected by the board to be their chair, but the vice chair was a lot more controversial. It was Tanya Harding and Mr. Peters.
Yeah, it was.
What's her name?
Tanya Sherman.
Oh, Tanya Sherman. Right.
That'd be funny. The boxing. Anyway, yes, Tanya Harding was a celebrity boxer.
She was an ice skater.
Not for long. Not as long as she boxed.
Okay.
So it was between Jalen Peters and Tanya Sherman, and the vote went out, and it was unanimous except for one. Jalen Peters withheld his vote.
Well, and I couldn't even it's kind of unanimous, and unanimous except for one is 4 against 1. That's still not unanimous, but
yes.
The new guy, Demers, went loudly and enthusiastically for Tanya, and so did she. And then the other new guy, Scott Wood, also was very enthusiastic about her. And then Peters voted for himself. He was willing to do the job and in support of himself being the vice chair. And he's been there, and he's been doing a lot of the work too. He really reads through all the stuff, does all the boring stuff. And then Lonnie Williams went last, and it was visible how torn he was. There was body language and sighing, and then ultimately he kind of just he went along with the majority.
Yeah, we'll give you guys the lowdown on it. When you go to the school board meetings, we went years and years ago, and it seemed like a rubber stamp job. It just push everything through, and then we had COVID, and there was a big mess with that. And then around that time, Peters was elected to the board, and he was somebody who was given pushback, not in an aggressive way, but in a way that he was showing that he was reading what was being voted on and putting up questions that you, the voters, would have had. And we really haven't seen that before. And I'm going to just say, he does a good job. He does a really good job.
Way to be unbiased.
Sorry, I'm just saying, when there is a political thing going on, I don't like both sides to be like, do what he says. I like there to be a debate because that shows that people care, and he shows that.
And it makes sure issues get properly hashed out and
yes.
that nothing gets missed.
Anyway,
so it is good to have split vote and not just rubber stamps go through.
Yeah. So the concern now is that the board is strongly on that agenda that was there before with pushing things through, and it could mean higher taxes for you. It could mean increased push for levies, which will affect you. So I highly encourage you, get out to those board meetings. Those school board meetings. It doesn't matter if you have kids or not. You pay taxes, and that's not all that it's about. But you want to make sure that it's being spent wisely, and you need to have somebody there that's on your side. So get out there and voice your opinion. And votes come up for these school board positions. I encourage you guys to run for those offices and Yeah. No, well,
Good luck. Good luck with that, guys. Good luck running for school board.
Yeah.
It's pretty set up. What I think what they need is more accountability.
Yeah.
If PAFE and the teachers unions are running the school board and the schools, there's no check and balance. There's no accountability. So why even have a school board if they're going to say yes immediately to everything? They say, you know, of course, that like, let's support the teachers, let's support the schools and their experts. But why does the school board exist then? Why should the people have any voice in what the school's doing? Why shouldn't the school just do whatever it wants and thinks is best?
I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the picture you're painting. And we don't want to get too controversial, but we do want you guys to get involved, and you're going to have to go and hear it and see it. Somebody can't do the job for you.
The schools can only be made better if there's accountability.
Yeah. So get out there, voice your opinion, write your letters to the editor, and go and speak to Becky Myers. Go and speak to Lonnie Williams, to Scott Wood, to just you can talk to them. They encourage it. Their emails are online. You can totally send them emails, and the more input, the better. And you will end up getting better representation out of it. So do your part, folks. Now, if that wasn't boring enough, we're going to talk about some boring stuff.
Yeah, if you guys thought that was the boring stuff segment, it was not.
That's right. If you haven't taken that sleeping pill yet. In North Idaho, winters are a beast. We got to shovel the snow. We got to get out there and do snow blowing. We got to throw snow melt down or ice melt. We got to get the snow tires on our vehicles. And we have to get the snow off the roof. We got to get firewood.
What?
Roof.
Did you say roof?
Off the roof.
You're from here now.
You got to get the firewood in, and you got to drive on those icy roads. But it is shaping up to be a pretty mellow winter. The concern that we might not get enough snowpack when the weather conditions have been so manageable is really what's at the heart of this winter's concern. Too much snow, though, or too much cold is no fun in winter. But not enough makes us really nervous. So the average snowfall in Sandpoint is 58 inches, with winter weather typically occurring from November all the way through March. And the Schweitzer Basin, up where everybody skis and the town is famous for, they get about 300 inches of snowfall total. But as of early January, we are ahead of where we need to be as far as snowpack in the mountains for January. We could still use a little more snow before April, though, and some snowpack. Technically, we have been in a drought the last 2 years. And all of this rain and snow in the mountains should do a lot of good for the greenery here in the Panhandle. Some people say it helps to stave off wildfires, which is awesome, if it's true. But I remember in winter 2017, there was tons of snowfall, and we still had to deal with weeks of bad air quality due to smoke. But I kind of remember them saying that was coming down from Canada, so thank you, Trudeau. I researched seasonal weather, and both from the scientific perspective and from traditional sources, and mostly they just say whatever they want. They have buzzwords that probably appeal to whomever is listening. The terms wet, cold, dry, and hot are used in very non-definite ways. Maybe the best word for it is ambiguous. I think that it was the transition in life from the 18th and 19th century to now, which happened so fast that the actual science and knowledge has been outpaced by the language and the desire to understand what's going on through language. As you say, it's wet, it's dry, but you can't argue or debate rain to fall or wind to blow. And that is exactly why we have meteorology, the Weather Channel, local weather, the Farmer's Almanac, both new and old. They're virtually on the same standing as far as quarterly seasonal forecasting goes. And I do trust the meteorologists when they do a 2-week cooling trend or a cool week warming trend. I've even decided camping trips based on what it said is going to happen in 5 weeks from now. And that's been with great success.
So is it going to snow or is it not going to snow?
Yes. Well, I can tell you precipitation.
You're one of them too. You're going to do it to us too.
There's no way to know. So, like I said, with weather, like with actual temperature weather, that's pretty accurate. But as far as precipitation, it's a coin flip. It's a coin flip, and if you get 2 days advanced knowledge, that's about the best you're going to get. I've washed the car because they said there was no rain in the forecast, and guess what? It rains. Same thing. I have also chosen a day to get out there and do all kinds of snow shoveling and snow blowing and clearing to get my driveway really nice and clear, the edges all pushed back. And I pushed every other engagement to the side. I just said, I'm doing this. 2 days later, dump of snow, and I'm back out there for the better part of a day, just getting it back to where it should have been on the day that I did it. But there was nothing in the 7-day forecast. And what do they tell you? Whoops, I'm sorry. Now they don't even do that. And I'm not going to hassle you glass half full people. I understand that if I cleared some of the snow, that made it better, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help me feel better about it.
Okay, so what have we? What are you 50-50 on this?
No, I'm 43. But the point is, if you hear bad weather is coming, make preparations to receive it. Protect yourself, protect others, and your stuff. And if you've got good weather coming, have fun and enjoy it with others. And you got to take the help when it's offered, and you got to jump in and help when you can. Forecasting seasonal weather should be in the same category as which football team is best, or complaining about paying taxes, or which ranch dressing is best, or Coke or Pepsi. It's all the same.
It is not the same.
It's the same. So be nice, drink a Pepsi, dip your carrot sticks and chicken wings in Dollar Store Ranch, watch the Vegas Raiders do what they do best, and round up when you pay the taxes.
Wait, is that a burn on the Raiders?
It's a burn on everybody paying taxes.
Okay.
So on to some serious stuff.
Artificial intelligence.
Or AI. That's what they call it now. We used to call it Skynet or just the robots.
All right, so there's talk about using AI. You all hear about ChatGPT and all that. You're considering using it personally, but when we're talking about using it in the Idaho legislature, we're talking about asking AI to do our self-governance for us and govern us. Now, a lot of the talk hasn't been to have AI write legislation. In fact, it's been the other way, that AI should not be writing the legislation.
No, it should not.
And that's pretty well agreed on. But
we're going to call this the opinion show.
I'm going to break and do some opinion here. When you have AI read your legislation, because it's too much, because there is too much legislation to go through, then there's still going to be too much. You've just found a way to read through it. If you have too much legislation, and we do, we are over-legislated. There are volumes and rooms full of code in what is supposed to be a free country. So we are already severely over-legislated, and instead of deregulating, the talk is to use AI to sort through and manage. Now, you had something interesting about cleaning.
Yeah, I have a viewpoint on it. As like I said, today's the opinion show. You guys probably have a drawer in your house where you throw everything: screwdrivers, a half pack of seeds that were from the garden that you put in your pocket, change, gum wrapper, I don't know, tools, old batteries. You keep a bunch of old batteries for what reason, I have no idea. But you got that junk drawer, or you've got a room that is the same thing where you put stuff that doesn't really have a home, and you have that extra space, so you put stuff in there, and then you say one day, I'm going to clean this up. And really what you should do is go in and get rid of it. Now, you can take it to the thrift store, you can just throw it in the garbage, you can recycle it, but that's not what you do. What you end up doing is you go and buy a bunch of boxes from Home Depot or from Walmart, and then you start dividing and sorting the stuff and put it in boxes and label the boxes. And you get that room all nice and tidy and clean, or that drawer, and you get it all cleaned up and everything looks nice, and then you realize you have a lot more room.
Yeah, but imagine if all those boxes in your closet had laws in them that you had to live by. So
and now they're sorted, but you still have them.
When you watch,
and you have room.
When you watch, that's a good point. When you watch an episode of Hoarders, the idea is not to stack all of the hoarded stuff. Not to get it all nice and stacked up and keep it all. You're supposed to throw it away.
That's right.
So with legislation, we don't want to just stack it. And our legislature, it looks like an episode of Hoarders.
Yeah.
You don't want to just stack all that and then have to live by and have AI help you have to live by all that legislation. What you should do is cut it way down to where it's supposed to be for our free country.
I'm going to say it, God forbid we ever have a Department of AI legislation processing. That would be not good.
Yeah.
So, you know, we spoke about organization. The concern would be that there would be even more and stranger stuff involved with the AI. So,
yeah, and it will expand. If you increase your ability to handle more, you will fill it with more. There will be more laws, more codes for us that are governing us and telling us what to do.
Yeah.
So it will grow your government exponentially. Government or computer storage space, its ability to store increases exponentially. Its speed increases exponentially. If we are going
Sounds like you went to college.
if we are going to put our governance in the hands of AI, it will increase exponentially.
Yeah, don't think it's going to solve anything. It will solve in the short term, and you will have to pay it in the long term. And
and more quickly than you would think.
Yes, exponentially. So we want to hear from you about that too. Go ahead and throw comments about how you feel about AI being involved in legislation reading and deciphering, and what that could mean. We want to hear from you. So moving on to the next segment, we have the politician's profile. Bonner County Coroner Robert Beers. Hey, buddy. We said casual picture.
Yeah, and we've had this happen before. We'll ask for a casual picture from a politician, and they will send us one of them at work with a tie on.
Yeah, we're very appreciative of them responding to this.
Thank you for participating.
Yes.
Thank you for the pictures. I don't think you guys know how to chill out and relax.
Yeah, relax, you politicians. So on January 24th will be Coroner Beers' 8th year in office. And he does have some goals while he's in office. He wants to provide the deceased and families of the deceased a thorough and complete death investigation to show compassion and empathy to families and loved ones on what can be described as one of the worst days in their lives. That's really a noble thing.
Noble, huh? How old is he, though?
How old is Beers? Well, he's the same age as Blake Shelton.
Okay, cool.
From The Voice,
the country
singer. He's also the same age as Sal from Impractical Jokers.
All right.
And Joe from Impractical Jokers.
Both of them.
And Murr from Impractical
All
Jokers.
Three?
And Q from Impractical Jokers. Those guys all went to high school at the same time. The show says they're buddies, and they're all the same age, so story checks out.
And Robert De Beers.
And Robert De Beers.
Oh, not De Beers. Robert Beers, sorry. That's another story. That's another politician. Robert Beers.
Yes. He's also the same age as Jalil White, also known as Steve Urkel.
Here it comes.
Hi, Laura. Did I do that?
Yeah, you did that.
I love that show. I didn't like that show. Well, he said, Robert Beers said, he loves to travel with his family, and he loves bass fishing.
That's cool.
And boating.
Okay.
I think bass fishing and boating go together really well. Yeah. And he also likes to go to Sandpoint Cinema and catch a flick every once in a while. Real down-to-earth guy. He's a member of Cedar Hills Church, but hasn't got to attend in a while. He has 2 older teenage children, and he and his late wife, Danae, moved to Bonner County in 2006, where he was a Sandpoint Police Department officer for 9 years before becoming the coroner. That's your coroner, folks. Sounds like a pretty nice guy. Finally, this has been a long episode. Do you think that we still have time?
You can try.
Yeah, I absolutely do think that we still have time.
I mean, it's going to make people mad because, people come in from, they move here and then secrets are given away. Do you really want to be the guy giving away those secrets?
Yes, I do. So somebody commented a while back that the episodes get cut off during our final segment, but I think we got the bugs all worked out. So we're breaking the taboo, and we are going to give directions to an abundant huckleberry spot this summer. This is very secret information. Do you know that road?